So let's start and build the model. I always liked this slide, this picture, Forrest Gump. I'm not a smart man, but I know what EQ is. And I think that by the time we finish this training, we'll realise that in fact EQ is the single most important skill that you can develop. Building out the EQ model is very straightforward. We draw the model first. We draw a box in the centre, and then we draw our XY axis. Once we've drawn this, we label them as follows: awareness and action, self and others, and then motivation in the centre. Once we've drawn our XY axis with our box in the centre, we label the 4 quadrants: self-awareness, self-regulation, social awareness, and social regulation. Now we have our model built. This is a learned skill. So I draw a model like this. I say it's a skill. What we're talking about is, am I active in this area? What a low score means is I'm not active in that particular area. And as is a learned skill, I can become active in this area. And then the question becomes, how do I become active in this area? And that's really where you want to go. And the way the model tends to work is it goes from self-awareness to self-regulation to social awareness to social regulation, like this. So a good way to think of the model when you look at it is think of it this way: self-awareness, knowing what is happening for us; self-regulation, managing what is happening for us; social awareness, knowing what is happening for others; and social regulation, managing what is happening for others. And then motivation, keeping ourselves on track. I've always liked that particular language and the little graphics that go with it. I think it explains the model very, very well in layman's terms. So now let's build the model on the slide this time. And remember that when we use the term emotional intelligence, we're really referring to an individual's level of activity to understand and apply the power of the acumen of emotions in situations they may be faced with. So put simply, emotional intelligence is a form of common sense, or advanced common sense if you wish. Emotional intelligence is knowing that we will sometimes feel great and sometimes feel not so great. And that both emotional states have the potential to impact the way we handle ourselves and others, for better or for worse. So the emotional intelligence competencies can really be broken down using the 2 intersecting axes, as we just described. On the horizontal axis, we have ourselves, or self. And on the right hand side, we have others. And on the vertical axis, we have awareness. And on the top, we have action. So with these 2 axes, we gain the basic framework for the model. And what we say is, at the core, emotional intelligence is ultimately about being aware of what's going on. This is the key thing I think you need to say to people. It's about being aware of what's going on for ourselves at a given moment and what's going on for others. It's also about taking appropriate action. So we start and say it's about awareness. Am I aware of what's going on for myself and for others? And then do I take action to manage myself and to manage others for positive outcomes or for more positive outcomes? So when I build the model, we build it nicely now on the screen here. Self, others, awareness, action, definition of the awareness, self and social, definition of the regulation, and then definition of the motivation, and then show how awareness becomes regulation, becomes social awareness, becomes social regulation. And that's pretty much a very, very clear and simple approach to building out the model